Hey, it's Jay, and welcome back to Breath of the Wild. I have a bit of an interesting idea for something that we're going to do. I want to try and cook as many recipes as I realistically can. Uh, I know that multiple times throughout the actual playthrough, I make comments about experimenting with recipes, trying to discover the recipes, etc., etc. But for one thing, I was terrible about marking down which ones I actually did end up doing, and for another thing, I just kept forgetting to actually do that. A problem, a bit of a shame. So now I've got the list of every single recipe in the game, and I'm going to try to cook as many as I can. I don't have ingredients to cook everything at once, so we're going to do some reloading of the save I just made. But I've gone through my inventory, and I have most of the ingredients to make the foods in the game. I don't have any gourmet meat or any whole birds. And I figured, going on a hunt for at least one of each of those just to do the recipes right now, and not really up for that. I'll find the tooltips for the ones that I'm missing sometime in the future. But I thought I would go through and see if we can cook some of them. So creamy heart soup we've already done before. I know that one. So pumpkin soup is pumpkin, butter, milk, and wheat. Now my inventory is a little bit more organized because we did the sort thing. Okay, so this should give me I've also still got the sound off, just because originally I turned it off because we're doing a lot of menuing and just reading stuff in the compendium and whatnot, and then so I didn't want the background music. But then eventually I was like, yeah, I'll leave it off for this one too. It might be nice to hear the sounds of the cooking a little bit, but it's not going to come completely to the mic, so whatever. Tough pumpkin stew grants a low-level defense boost. Simply simmer a fortified pumpkin to make this dish a favorite in Kakariko Village. Okay. Carrot milk and rock salt. Milk. Milk was right above it. Milk. Hasty veggie cream soup grants a low-level movement speed boost. This creamy soup showcases the sweetness of vegetables in a veritable taste explosion. I do like just a whole carrot kind of jutting out of the soup. I think those might be pumpkin chunks, or what those are supposed to be in the middle. But I think it's funny that they didn't bother cutting up the carrot for making the cream soup. That's a bit funny. Okay. So mushroom. Veggie milk and salt. And I don't know what I should do for a veggie. I think it says herbs can work too, so maybe we'll just do a basic herb. Yeah, any herb or flour. Okay, well. Creamy mushroom soup. This creamy mushroom and vegetable soup is so chunky it eats like a meal. I never had cream of mushroom, but I know that it is very thick compared to cream of chicken and whatnot. I do like that there's a variety of mushrooms inside of the image, although if I remember from us testing this recipe and trying to figure it out, and also looking at this guide, it looks like you can't put more than one mushroom in, or it'll just give you mushroom skewer or whatever. So that's interesting. Okay, now I need to try just a veggie milk and salt. So I think we will do horseradish. Hope this will work. Cream of vegetable soup. Restores your health and temporarily increases maximum hearts. That's a special bonus. Made by simmering vegetables and milk. This healthy dish is as simple as its ingredients. Yeah, it's a pretty simple one. Carrot stew, I think we've done before. It's just carrot, goat butter, wheat, and milk. Yeah. I mean, we can try it since we're going to reset anyway. Carrot, wheat, butter, milk. That is what it says, right? Yeah. I'm pretty sure we've done this one before. This simple stew sat simmering for a long time to bring out the sweetness of the carrots. Again, the carrots are just kind of whole. Well, there's chopped bits that looks like it might be on the side, but the back ones are definitely whole. which is kind of interesting. I only put one carrot in too, so I don't know where the second carrot came from. Okay, so carrot, butter, rice, salt. All right, let's see what this does. Vegetable risotto. The sweetness of the ingredients gives this risotto a mild flavor. Oh, it is nice having, like, carrots and basically just carrots on rice is essentially what that is. You can use a pumpkin with it though, which I think matches the image a little bit better. All right, so now mushroom, rice, butter, and salt. Mushroom risotto. The tantalizing aroma of mushrooms and butter beckons you to the table. I love the one giant mushroom among all the little guys. It's kind of funny. I think. Oh, we've done something similar to this before, but not like this actual one. Mushroom rice balls. Maybe we have done this one. I think we've done the fish rice balls or something. The aroma of mushrooms tickles your nose as you peel back the leafy wrapping. Yeah, we've done that one before. I seem to remember that, like the leafy wrapping, like tooltip. They're very nice. Look, guys, a jelly donut. And good thing I checked because we just filled up our food inventory, so we should probably reload. We'll get some ingredients back this way too. All right, rice and spice. Curry rice. A favorite all over Hyrule, the simple dish has a flavor that you just won't get tired of. I'm not exactly sure how exactly just spice and rice makes a full curry, because it looks like there's um, uh, some sauce and meat on the side there. Don't know where that came from, but okay. Maybe if you like threw anything, maybe if you did like any of the previous recipes with the gore and spice, it would have done that, which I think that would make sense. We've done fried egg and rice before. Okay, so mushroom, egg, butter, and salt. The fluffy texture of this omelet is one of the great joys of this dish, as well as life. Kind of interesting that there's like the cream and the mushrooms like poured over the omelet. That's definitely well, like I said, it is a mushroom omelet, but that definitely is an interesting choice. Link is just salivating over it. It's awkward with the mask though, because like he goes to like wipe his mouth, and it's like that's not doing anything in your mouth at all. There's no drool coming out. Well, there probably is drool, but you're not up. Vegetable, egg, butter, and salt. Hearty vegetable omelet. Ooh. Ooh, I like the look of like the sauce dripping over, and that actually does look pretty good. I don't even like omelets, and that looks pretty good. This home-style dish mixes fluffy eggs with chopped vegetables for nutritional balance. Carrot, spice, and rice. Funny how like he throws like the whole bottle of spice in instead of like opening it up and pouring it out. You can say that for the milk too. Hasty vegetable curry vegetable curry was what I was going for. Hasty vegetable curry grants a low-level movement speed boost. This healthy curry is popular for its mild flavor and moderate spiciness. It says you could use pumpkins or carrots. That is very clearly a pumpkin in the background, but it looks like there's like cucumbers on the front, and those might be Those are either like pepperonis or tomatoes on like the left. Where do those come from? Mushroom and goron spice. Okay. I have my video playing in the background the whole time here. Fragrant mushroom saute. The fragrant aroma of the sautéed spice and mushroom dish makes your mouth water. Oh, I do like that they're a little bit crispy and burnt again. Don't eat mushrooms, but they do look nice. Laid out like that. I like the combination of different types too. Square platter too, actually. Did many of them have square platters? This one has a square platter. That one has a square platter. Yeah, square platters are not uncommon, but not like the most common thing. Okay. Any herb and goron spice. Can get this one. I don't want to skip, actually. Herb saute, a fragrant mixture of herbs and spices. It's easily recognized by its unique aroma. Like, again, well, I feel like just putting herbs and spice together, like, isn't gonna do much, but okay. There's some big chunks there that look like they're from an actual vegetable, but you don't need one. Vegetable herb or flour, and rock salt. Just using a Nigerian carrot. Why not? I assume the carrot counts as a vegetable. Actually, it might not. Enduring salt grilled greens. Yeah, okay, it does count. Restores and overfills your stamina wheel. A health boosting dish made with leafy greens and a touch of salt. Yeah, very nice. Very nice. I like the kind of like variety of vegetables there too. I can't quite tell what the green one in the back is supposed to be. It looks like it might be the palm fruit, but then it would be fruit, salt grilled fruit. Or maybe, wait, actually, let me check the recipe again. Yeah, vegetable, herb, or flour. So, you can't use the fruits. That's interesting. I'm pretty sure we've done this one before, but maybe we didn't. Just mushroom and salt. Yeah, salt grilled mushrooms. I'm pretty sure we've done this one. A basic mushroom dish made by lightly salting mushrooms and grilling them. Because that image looks very familiar. It's actually very similar. If I go to the menu, I think we might be full again. Yeah, we're full again. Actually, it's like, yeah, I think that, well, they're basically the same image. The fragrant mushroom saute and the salt grilled mushrooms. They're basically the same image, just these are like more cooked, thanks to like all the spice coating them. But there also is like a little bit of like, there's two little sticky ones in front of the truffles on that one that aren't here. And the exact positioning of the mushrooms is a little bit different between the two. I think the most notable one is being, there's a big brown one in the back where it's like slightly smaller gold and like lower down here. Yeah, kind of cool that those are very similar looking ones. I like that. I approve. It's my thumbs up of approval. This next one I'm surprised we haven't done, so I think we must have. Just a mushroom and veg. Hearty steamed mushrooms. Restores your health and temporary. Okay. A healthy vegetable dish achieved by steaming mushrooms and plant leaves. If it needs plant leaves, then you think you would call for herbs. They wouldn't be big enough plant leaves, but it would at least be like kind of logical there. But okay. Okay, sure. Oh, we've done mushroom skewer. We've done copious mushroom skewers. We've done fried wild greens. Copious fried wild greens. Any 4 different herbs, vegetables, or flowers. Okay. So I think I want to try one of each safina and then a basic Iro herb. Let's try this one. Copious fried wild greens. A healthy dish made by cooking mixed greens over a strong flame. Oh, hold on a minute, because I definitely see the warm and cold safina there at the bottom. I'm not entirely sure what the thing on the left is, but the green bulbous things, I think, are those the heads of the hyrule herbs then? I didn't think they were that big, but maybe they are. Okay, that makes sense. That makes more sense. Blue snail, buttermilk and wheat. Hearty clam chowder. Restores your health and temporary. Okay. The nutritional value of hearty blue shell snail combines with butter and milk in a rich soup. It does look like a very thick soup. It is weird that you left. Well, first off, it's weird that it's still considered clam chowder when you don't have actual clams used to make the recipe. But there is clearly a clam shell in the image. But also that you also left the snail shell in, which like you're not gonna eat the shells. Why are they still in the bowl? That's a little weird. But also, the other week I was talking to a friend who reminded me, like, man, the Cartoon Network show Chowder was so fucking funny. It had no right being as hilarious as it was. It randomly came up in a conversation and we started like reminiscing about some of like our favorite bits. And like since then I've been like trying to find compilations of some of the show's best bits because God, that show was something else. They need to reboot it or something. That show took literal humor and the fourth wall and just fucking grabbed them in a chokehold and ran with it. I miss it. I miss it to hell and back. Okay, we need seafood, herbs, salt, and milk. I'm assuming by any seafood that a fish would count, so I'm just going to use a carp. Sometimes the fish overrides the general seafood recipe, but I think that this should work still. Creamy seafood soup. Thick cut chunks of seafood and stock provides a satisfying savouriness. First off, I love the blue bowl that it's in. A lot of them have like different like dishes for serving, but like the bright blue pot, that definitely stands out. I was about to say vegetables, but yeah, we did put herbs in. Does that make sense? Those are some big chunks of fish. It does say thick cut chunks, but yeah, those are some big chunks of fish. All right, blue snail rice and spice. Rice, spice, blue snail. Hearty seafood curry. Restores your health and temporarily increases your maximum hearts. This dish brims with treasures of the sea. Its spice packs a kick, so it's not for kids. Oh, wow. How strong is this spice? Do you want to say, first off, it's interesting that the recipe specifically, maybe this guide is wrong. Wait, no. Oh, it says any porgy works too. This guide specifically says blue shell snail or porgy. So it's weird that there's a crab shell in the recipe if you don't need the crab shell and potentially can't use the crab shell. But also there's shrimp there quite clearly. And what I think could be chops of onion. They might be leeks or something. I think they're onions. But like shrimp, you can't get shrimp in this game. Where'd you get the shrimp from, Link? Where'd you get the shrimp? You can't catch shrimp. I do want to actually check. Spice rice and blue shell, that's what we just did. What happens if I throw a crab in? Yeah, crab still works, okay. So, not a super nonsensical like cover image, but although because I mixed effects, it is technically less hearts, which is kind of hilarious. Putting in more green made it worse. Yeah, too many cooks saw the broth and all that. Okay, salt, rice, butter, salmon. And I picked these up specifically for this dish. Just grabbed them. salmon risotto. The rice used in this rich risotto permeates the light flavor of the salmon. They look like a little bit of messy chunks of salmon, but yeah, that's salmon. Okay, now crab, salt, rice, and butter. And crab. Oh. Crab risotto. An everyday staple of seaside villages. The secret to its delicious flavor lies in crab fat. I think that is crab meat because there's a little bit of a pinkish, like, kind of almost creamy thing on top of the rice. I think that is crab meat. But it's kind of interesting. The claws, although they actually show of the crab in the image, not like the legs or the body or anything like that, because they probably could have. But yeah, that works. I'm pretty sure it's time for us to load the save. I think that was the last one we needed to fill up. A seafood fried rice we've already done before. I think that was the quest one, but oops. I think that was the quest one, but this one also could have been the quest one. I don't think it is, though. I think the quest one is the one that I've marked off as we have done. This next recipe, blue snail, salt butter rice. No. I was doing so good. Having salt butter rice. We need the snail. And then we need any porgy. I guess armor porgy. But this would... Seafood paella. No fisherman's birthday bash would be complete without this top-shelf seafood dish. Maybe that was the one we made for the quest. It looks familiar. Pretty sure it was the one we made for the quest. It is interesting, though, that requires... Again, I don't know if this guide is completely accurate. This guide could be, like, saying some incorrect things, because there's also the sneaky snail. Although, I guess the sneaky snail would also create this problem of, like... The snail effects and the porgy effects don't line up. So, like, no matter what, you're going to be canceling out effects cooking this dish if you need both a snail and a porgy. I wonder why they would put in a recipe like that like, purposely, like, nerfs the ingredients. I don't know. Meat and herb. Could be vegetable and flour too, but I want to do meat and herb for this one. Steamed meat. Oh, that actually does look pretty nice. This meat dish has been wrapped in fragrant leaves and steamed to preserve its moisture. And it does look a little moist, doesn't it? Yum, yum, yum. I actually kind of want to compare the cuts on that one. It's pretty similar. Where, like, the meat is, like, cut. Meat and mushroom skewer we've done before. Meat skewer we've done before. Meat and seafood fry. Meat and seafood. I'll just do one of each, just so that we don't, like, accidentally fuck this up at all. Meat and seafood fry. A filling dish made by cooking fresh seafood and meat together. I think that is supposed to... Well, okay, I think that's a fish in the back because, like, the meat is very light and it's kind of rounded. I think that's supposed to be a fish in the back. There's some leaves and a tomato to the side. Can't get tomatoes in this game. Where'd you get that, Link? And then it's, like, a little tiny steak and, like, a bird drumstick in the front. Okay. Yeah, it makes sense because you can also use bird... You don't have to use, like, mammal meat. You can use bird meat, too. I'm assuming that you can combine them all then. Because if not, that would be strange. Any 4 different meats. Okay. I don't know. Again, I don't know if that includes seafood or not. So we're just gonna do this because I think this is the lowest risk way of doing this. Copious meat skewers. Yep. Just shove a bunch of meat onto a skewer and you're good to go. Yeah, that's what that is. And then I'm pretty sure we've done this one, but I'll try it anyway because it's simple. Mushroom and pepper. Yep, pepper steak. The meat has been cooked in crushed peppers to accent its natural taste. Oh, I think the thing that threw me off is because you use the spicy pepper. Unless if you threw in another ingredient, it would always be spicy pepper steak. But it's just the best pepper steak here because, like, if you added in something else, it could fuck it up. Interesting though that it looks like it's like a steak and a pork chop next to a pepper, or maybe even a chicken breast next to a pepper. I guess. Yeah, you can't use bird meat, so I guess that does track. Yeah, okay, that tracks. Seafood rice balls we've done on accident a lot, actually. Okay, salt, butter, wheat. And any seafood. Fish pie. Fish pie, a mainstay in any fisherman's home. The crisp crust pairs well with the fishy flavor. It's literally shaped like a fish. That's fucking hilarious. I don't know. I don't know if that's supposed to be some sort of. I guess it must be butter, like a butter and salt like paste. I was gonna say tartar sauce. That makes sense. I don't know what it's supposed to be there on like the bottom to like spread on it or dip it in or whatever. But shaping the pie like a fish. That's a stroke of brilliance. Link, you're supposed to be killing Ganon. Why are you putting this artistry into your food? Oh my god. The salmon meuniere, or however you say that, we did for the quest. Like, I think literally in this room. Okay, porky butter and wheat. Porgy meuniere grants a low-level attack power boost popular among residents of coastal regions. This juicy porgy is a delicious dish. Again, tomatoes in the back. You can't get those in the game. I do like the kind of like buttery cream though pouring over it. That's nice. Very artistic. Seafood. Okay, go butter, wheat, and any seafood. It says any seafood, but clearly that cannot be because we've just done a few seafood recipes and that didn't work, or that did other things. And so, I mean, I guess a bass should work. If this doesn't work, though, we'll do a crab. Seafood meuniere. Rich butter flakes fresh seafood. The secret ingredient is lots and lots of love. Yeah. It's basically, I mean, if we can even like go in here and we can look at it. Oh, good, we did because it's the end. I mean, they're basically the same, just different colors. Which, I mean, I can't exactly blame the devs for that, but still. Now I actually want to make this. Hang on. Oh. Is there anything I can eat? You. Eat you. Alright. Now, at least I'm pretty sure I still got one, yeah. Salmon. Butter. Wheat. I want to compare all three of them. I've already made this one, but I want to look at it, compare it to the other two. Crispy skin of this fried hearty salmon, and it puts its texture in a class all of its own. Okay, that's actually very interesting that the porgy and generic fish are like the same image but different colors. But for the salmon, they slightly changed the pattern of like the butter dripping over, completely changed the color of the butter dripping over, and then completely changed the cut of meat. It's like from a side instead of top down this time. But the garnish in the back is still the same, so that's interesting. Interesting. All right. Spice. Crab. Oop. I nearly just threw them on the floor. Energizing crab stir fry. Stir fry. The gore and spice used in preparing this crab pairs perfectly with the flavor of its meat. See, now the whole crab is in this one. There's also peppers, even though you don't have to use the peppers. I imagine you can. Basically, just a crab, just a baked crab in a broth. I guess that works. Any 4 different fish is our next one. Well, okay. Well, technically, saltgrid crab, saltgrid fish. We've already done those ones though. Okay, so no, has to be 4 different. Has to be 4 different. Has to be different ones. Has to be different ones. Copious seafood skewers. It's just a whole heap of stuff shoved onto a skewer, but it's still a pretty tasty dish. I want to take a close look at that. Actually, I didn't quite appreciate that. It is 4 though. Good job on that, keeping it to 4. Lesser games would just put like 5 or 3 or something like that, even though you have to use 4 or 5. Spicy peppered seafood we've already done. Steamed fish. Any herb and fish. Sneaky steamed fish. That was what I was going for, yeah. Grants a level of stuff boost. A refined dish made by wrapping a fresh fish in fragrant wild greens and cooking it. Actually, I kind of want to look. Because we've got a few, of roasted fish from killing Hinoxes. I don't think it's the same. I do not think it's the same artwork for any of them, though. Yeah. I think that's a unique piece of artwork. It's very doofy looking though, I will say. The big old eyes and the gaping mouth. I guess fish is always kind of a bit doofy, but especially when it's cooked, it just looks silly. It's just silly baby. Mushroom. Fish. Fish mushroom skewer. A simple dish made by cooking skewered fresh fish alongside fragrant mushrooms. It's kind of the fish's sandwich between the mushrooms. That's very nice. Seafood skewer we've done. Fish skewer we've done. Okay. Now we're getting into some of the problem areas. Okay, so gourmet meat stew we can't make because we don't have any gourmet meat. But prime meat stew we can. We need to add milk, butter, and wheat to this. Prime meat stew, letting the large portions of choice cuts of meat simmer brought out their savoriness. It looks like there's a few carrots and potatoes in there too. Actually, weird that you can't get potatoes in this game. That would have been a nice one to get. Potatoes, they go with everything. Now, slightly more basic is just a meat stew, which is basically the same thing, except with the basic meat. I think you can also use bird thigh and drumstick for these two respectively. Meat stew, the hearty meat in this mainstay dish leaves bellies satisfied all throughout Hyrule. I do want to compare them because they're basically the same thing. It's just one's chunkier. Yeah, those are much larger chunks of meat. Although it also looks like this one has more potatoes too. This one might have more carrots, but also the meat might be covering up the carrots in this one. So I don't know. Very, very hearty food dishes. Meat, herb, milk, and salt. creamy meat soup. This nutritious soup contains serious portions of lightly braised meat and many vegetables. Do you like it? Was a mushroom? No, a mushroom wasn't required for that. It doesn't look like you can use a mushroom. So it's interesting that it has like a bit of a cream of mushroom look to the cream, but I guess it's the milk. It must be the milk, right? Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Meat, spice, and rice. I think poultry should work too. Poultry curry. Oh, actually, oh no, that's a different thing. That's later in the list. Later in the list. A poultry curry. The savory meat pairs well with the aroma of spice in this common curry. Interesting that the rice is more like yellowish here than it normally is. And again, like the chunks in the side don't look too different than one of the vegetable curries that we made before. And spice. No, it's rice. Oh, okay. I thought we had one more, but we didn't. Okay, this should be the meat curry then. So let me cook. Let the man cook. Meat curry. The heat from the spice allows you to enjoy the large portion of meat. This large portion of the meat's savoriness. Again, kind of a basic curry. Interesting that for most of the curries, the rice and sauce and main ingredient have been like separated in halves, which I know some people eat their curries like that, but I like the curry like to be a little bit more mixed up, so you get like a little bit of everything. Now there is a prime meat and a gourmet meat curry, which means we can make the prime meat one. Prime meat curry. The high quality meat in this curry has given it a deeper taste than most other curries. I like the little veggies on top of the meat too. That's an interesting touch. In a similar vein to that, prime poultry curry. The secret to this curry's flavor is taking it off of the heat while you add the spices. I like the drumstick in the back. That's kind of neat. I appreciate that. Can't compare all of our curries because some of them are in the last save file, but yeah, they have a very similar like vibe to them, but like different art between them, which is neat. Consistency without like too much repetitiveness, and I kind of appreciate that. We cannot make the gourmet meat curry or the gourmet poultry curry because we don't have the ingredients. We can also just add meat and rice. The sweet and spicy meat stuffed into these rice balls will keep you full for some time. Interesting that it says the meat is stuffed inside of the rice balls. And so I think like the seaweed, that must be like a redder seaweed used to wrap it. But it looks like the rice is in the meat. is like the first glance what it looks like, which would have like roughly the same effect. It's just that like goring the meat to put the rice in would be a little bit tricky. You could definitely do it, but maybe a little bit lengthy process for like not much payoff. Meat stuffed pumpkins we have already done. Meat, butter, salt, and wheat. Meat pie. You'll need an extra napkin to deal with this juicy pie of perfectly baked minced meat. It's kind of neat that the pie is not only like split in half, but also they've kind of layered one half on top of the other. That's an interesting choice. That feels like something you would do more so for a photo shoot to advertise a product than you would when actually eating it. But I guess photo shoot is kind of what the point of the artwork for these meals is, you know. Poultry pilaf is next. Drumstick, egg, butter, and rice. Drumstick. Poultry pilaf. Sauteed highly in rice steamed in poultry broth. Cook on low heat until the rice is fluffy. It does look very like thick rice in that one, doesn't it? I think the meat is under it, which is how I prefer to. Well, sometimes I'll lay the meat on top, but I do think covering in the rice is like a pretty effective way to serve it. So I appreciate that touch. A similar one to that, though, is essentially the same: egg, butter, and rice. I imagine that like some of the yellowishness to the rice is because of the egg yolk that has to like affect it somehow. Could just be the chicken broth though, because that seemed to be the logic with the curries. Prime poultry pilaf. The rice permeates the savory taste of the poultry in this Gerudo region favorite. Oh, Gerudo, really? Really, Gerudo likes their pilafs. Their bird. Yes, Gerudo region, a place with lots of birds and rice to use to cook these. Must be a bit of like a delicacy. It looks like they're basically the same image. It's just that this one has more like meat layered on top, which is kind of funny. It works. It makes sense, but it's still kind of funny. This is a gourmet poultry pilaf, but we can't make that one. Okay. We got another couple of similar ones coming up here. Rice and salt, and then meat. I think the drumstick works for this one too. Meat and rice bowl. This dish of rice and lightly seasoned meat is a mainstay all throughout Hyrule. And see that's a pretty classic looking meat and rice like recipe to me. Yeah, salt the meat. Yeah. That's pretty standard procedure, at least in my opinion. Prime meat, rice, salt. By the way, I don't know if I mentioned this or not. I did do some selling to buy some extra ingredients to make this like process go a little bit smoother. I had 442 amber. I sold like 20 of them, but I had 442 amber. I think that's probably my high score for amber in the game. I'm not sure. Prime meat and rice bowl. This bowl is loaded with high quality meat. Your hunt for a serious meal ends here. Say that, it doesn't actually restore that many hearts. It's like a fourth of a full bar. I think? No, it's not even that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of 30. That's a sixth even. Jesus. Do like the little beans on top, but like that's too much meat. You know, I'm just gonna say it. That's too much. You're overpowering the rice there. You can't even bites with that. What are you even doing? Awful. And there's a gourmet one, but we can't do that one. Meat and honey. Glazed meat. Instantly refill some of your stamina wheel. The sweetness of the honey permeates the meat, giving it a complex taste profile. I do like the layers to it. That's very much appreciated. It does look pretty good. That would be a very sweet meat. Meat and Goron spice is next. Spiced meat skewer. A special Goron spice covers up the scent of the meat, allowing its flavor to shine. Oh, I guess the mushrooms did get a little bit more brown and gold. I would expect it to make it more red than the Goron spice, but yeah, okay, that works. Yeah. I kind of want to make it like a regular meat skewer now just to compare the two. Well, actually, next up is the prime meat skewer. And then there's the gourmet meat skewer, which you can't make. Salt grilled meat, we've already done. Prime spiced meat skewer. The simple preparation of the steak dish belies its complex taste profile. Now I just kind of want to make like a regular meat skewer, which I think should be that, right? Yeah, just to compare. Yeah, it does look like it's the same artwork, just kind of golden white and with flakes added, which I think probably like a similar deal to this one. I'm not sure if the bottom one in like the double skewers is the same as the single skewer. I think it is, but I'm not 100% certain on that one. Okay, you can cook 2 more and then we'll have to do another load. I think from now on, we should have all of the ingredients we need. It's just that we might need to reset for our coarser honey a few times. Okay. Next up, butter, sugar, wheat. Oh, apple pie we've already done. Butter, sugar, wheat, and pumpkin. Anything? Actually, let me just double check. Oh, well, there's only one actual pie. Oops. But this pumpkin pie, my favorite pie, grants a low-level defense boost. The intense sweetness of fortified pumpkins makes this dessert popular among children. Hey, wait a minute. I do have to say, for one thing, it's a shame that it's just a single slice of pumpkin pie, not a whole pumpkin pie. That's clearly what we were going for when we were cooking it. But also, it's a bit light on the sides. It's not like it's super full and orangey brown like you'd want a pumpkin pie to be. That's a shame. That's a shame. But man, pumpkin pie, best pie. Best Buy 2027. What am I talking about? It's 2023. It will be the best pie in 2027. Okay. For this next one, I think we'll do bananas for this one. Actually, that was something different. Mighty fried bananas. I think that was later on the list. Grants a low-level attack power boost. Children love fried mighty bananas. The trick is frying them over very high heat. I don't think I've ever had fried bananas. Is it like a dollop of some kind of cream on the side? If it is, that's cool. Very interesting texture on them. Again, never had fried bananas though, so I don't know how accurate that is. Okay. It said any fruit except for apple and pumpkin, but that banana I would count as a fruit. So maybe I fucked up something else in this recipe, but let's try this then. Fruit pie. There we go. Oh my god. A celebration isn't a celebration until this fruit-filled crust hits the table. Jeez, that's a fruit salad inside of a dessert. That's not a fruit pie. Oh my god. Holy shit. Looks like there's blueberries in there. You can't get blueberries in this game. It's supposed to be like cherries or something. It can't be apples because you can't use apples for this. There's like orange slices? Grapes? Maybe those are grapes. Actually, yeah. Blueberries, grapes, and orange slices. I don't think you can get any of those fruits in this game. Jeez. I kind of want that now, though. I want to make that. Damn, this game's making me hungry. I knew this was going to be a bit of a mistake to do this because it was gonna make me hungry. Okay. Apple. Any other fruit? I'm going to assume that bananas will actually. I won't risk it. I'll do hydromelon. That should count. Sugar and wheat. kind of threw them from quite a ways away there, didn't I? Chili fruit cake. Grants level heat resistance. Making ample use of fruits found all over Hyrule. This cake is a must-have for celebrations. Again, it's got like grapes, blueberries, and orange slices on top, even though you can't get those. Maybe that's supposed to be the inside of a hydro melon, actually. Yeah, I could see that. Um, I like the sort of like creamy texture it looks like the cake has, though. That does look pretty good, too. And I think throwing in the hydro melon was a smart choice because it does look like it would be a chilled fruit. So I'm making it chilly, even though it doesn't have to be. Just feels fitting for what it is. Okay, carrot, butter, sugar, and wheat. Boom. Carrot cake. Enjoy. Even those who don't like carrots tend to enjoy the mild sweetness of this cake. I never had carrot cake. I don't know if it's an actual carrot on top or if that's a frosting carrot, because sometimes people do frosting carrots. But I do remember when they did that reboot of Looney Tunes, where like a Looney Tunes show, I think it was, where Daffy and Buggy were like roommates in like a regular old suburban house. Bugs was obsessed with carrot cake in that series, which I mean he was always obsessed with carrots, but making it the cake specifically so much just felt a little bit odd. But you know it works. There's also nut cake, but not only have we made that one before, but I think we've got one. I think this was a gift from saving someone, but we have made this before. I could go for a nut cake. Salt and sweet, salty sweet. I do want to try the fruit pie, though. That was pretty good. Plain crepe. Wheat, milk, egg, and sugar. All right. A plain crepe. The simplicity of this dish lets the flavor and the ingredients shine. It's pretty plain, isn't it? Yeah. It would be very sweet.
How can you talk that calmly?
Is that like that must be like just a square, because you didn't use butter in this, so that's like a squared off egg yolk on top? Is that what I'm looking at? It's the only thing it can be. Okay, so now we need to do basically the same recipe of egg, sugar. I've already forgotten it. Milk and wheat. But now we need to add honey. Honey, I'm home. Throw the whole ass hive in, and the whole ass glass jar with the milk. Energizing honey crepe. Instantly refill some of your stamina wheel. Honey has been drizzled over the crepes to bring out their natural sweetness and flavor. That does look pretty nice. The glazed honey, like just kind of dashed over. Interesting that it is like marked as energizing when like this is a 5-ingredient recipe. There's no other way to make this. This is the only way to make this. So this is always going to be an energy restoring food. So I don't know if the energizing prefix was necessary there, but it'll definitely help you with like finding this in your inventory. So I guess it's nice. Okay. Milk, sugar, egg, wheat. No. Oh, I'm out of sugar. I'm out of sugar. We're in like the dessert section now. We started with the like the veggie section, then we did like the meat section. Now we're in like the dessert section. No. All right, sugar, wheat, milk, egg. And now we need to add a wild berry. Berry. I found my berries. Wild berry crepe. Oh, that's a lot of berries on that one. And a lot of cream. Sweet tart wild berries are folded into thin, springy dough to make this dessert. I think it's probably the best looking crepe so far. I like it. There's a shield on this table. Oh, it's a pot lid. Okay, that makes more sense. It's got the pot here. And actually, something that someone I was watching in like a live stream pointed out is they got like a cage around the fire here, both because it's like a wooden hut and also like the birds have like their feathers like hanging around a lot, so it helps like keep things from catching on fire specifically for this area because it's higher risk. That's kind of neat. I appreciate that. Okay, egg, butter, sugar, and wheat. Egg tart. I'm the tart toter. You'll know the simple dessert is done baking when it smells just delightful. Very simple looking one though. I think that might be the only tart though. It's written this not more like fruity tarts. But okay. Egg. I can make up for that. Egg milk, and sugar. Egg pudding. Made by cooking eggs and milk in a special mold. Its soft texture melts in your mouth. Where did I get the mold from? I don't have a pudding mold like that on my person. How did I do that? How did you do that, Link? You didn't have like a fancy gelatin mold to make this. What is your secret? What are your secrets? What are your secrets? He disappeared. We'll never know. We've done fried bananas. Actually, we just did that one too. We've done honeyed apple, apparently, before. I don't really remember that one. But butter and apple. Actually, you know what? We might as well. We'll do honeyed apple again. Just. We'll have to be able to reel this a little bit faster, but it'll be okay. A hot buttered apple. This apple sweetness has been enhanced by smothering it in butter and baking it. I like that it's both a whole apple and like a sliced apple on the side. Or did maybe... No, because the slice still had the skin on, so it couldn't be. I was wondering if maybe they cored the apple and poured butter into like inside and then just put the core on the side, but no, that couldn't be it. That wouldn't be it. Okay. We've done honeyed apple before, but we're going to go ahead and do it again. A juicy, sweet, and sour dish combining the newly ripened apples with honey. I wouldn't really associate a red apple with sour, but I guess there can be red sour apples. I usually associate red apples with being sweet, though, so I would think that would be a sweet dish. Interesting, though, that like they're like entirely different textures, though, even though it's like a similar concept. Also, like the whole hive is like I've joked about throwing the whole hive in before. The whole hive literally is just on this picture. You just have a beehive in your plate and you're expected to eat it. Like, dude, that's a bit overkill. Let's try bananas and honey. It says any fruit. Again, I'm hoping bananas count because they didn't last time. Honeyed fruits. Oh, that is a spread. A dish that combines the thick sweetness of honey with the acidity of sour fruits. Again, like I guess an orange could classify as a sour fruit, but like those are like grapes and blueberries. Those are pretty sweet fruits. Maybe the grapes are sour. Maybe depending on the grapes. I think if you wanted sour fruits, you would have thrown some lemons in. I guess pineapple. Does pineapple count as sour? It's more like just burns. I'd count that as sour. Not that the idea just said. We are gonna have to relive the save though because I don't have much honey. Now we just need to throw in just honey. Energizing honey candy. Instantly refill some of your salmon wheel. A natural, sweet, brimming with nutrition and made by stewing fresh honey. I like that the Link took the time to like scoop it up into like balls and individually wrap each of them. That is hilarious. Also, like, based on how the recipe book is laid out here, this is not a thing. But I think if you threw in 5 honeys, it would be hilarious. If it was just like a whole like tote full of the little wrapped candies, like we would have like a Halloween pail. I think that'd be funny. Unfortunately, they didn't do that, but that's okay. Actually, I have some butterscotch upstairs. I should go grab some butterscotch after the stream. It's close enough. Buttermilk wheat. And, oh, this is going to get very annoying. We only have 1 monster extract, and like the next like 4 recipes all need monster extract. Uh-oh. Oops. Oopsie daisy. Monster soup. Using monster extract as a base, the soup's distinct gaminess is either loved or hated. It's purple bubbling broth. It looks like it's even... those look vaguely like hearts, but whatever they are, they're like spinning around inside. Like there's a vortex as it bubbles up out of the cauldron. That is interesting. I do like the dish that it's served in, though. Like spiky edges. That's very cool. Preach that. Big preach on that. All right. Monster curry. This unusual take on curry uses monster extract that doesn't rely on spices. Say it doesn't rely on spices, but Goron spice is literally one of the ingredients. Maybe you could just make this with extract and rice, and maybe the guide is wrong. But still, I think that there's like blue and purple chunks or blue and red chunks rather in the purple this time. Because like I believe like the red chunks were supposed to be like the generic meat, veg, or whatever that like all the other curries have in them. But like the blue, where's the blue from? Where are you getting that blue? Like the red could be from the Goron spice. Where's the blue coming from? Kilton, what did you put in this bottle? Kilton, what are you feeding me? What are you feeding your whole customer base? Because I'm pretty sure I got this from just someone on the street that was talking good about you. All right. Oop. All right. So next up is extract rice and salt. Monster rice balls. Rice balls flavored with monster extract. Their unique aroma is not for everyone. Okay, 2 things. First off, grimace looking ass. Second off, look guys, it's a jelly donut. Third off, the leaf is blue. That's not like that weird in the grand scheme of things, but like it's been like the identical green leaf for like every other rice ball up to this point, and even some other dishes, like those that were like cooked with herbs. But this time it's blue. I guess like a purple thing on a green thing, might make blue. That doesn't. Well, I guess that works. It's a little weird though. I can't tell. I also can't tell. What?
We're all out of Badger Blast.
Badger Blast, you keep drinking it all. I bought a 6-pack of Baja Blast. I only had 1, and you drank the other 5.
Blast.
It's not Badger Blast. It's Spanish. It's Baja.
It's Badger.
It is not. That is not what it's called.
Badger Kazooie.
Nuts and bolts.
Fuck.
Also, I can't tell that seaweed. I can't tell if that seaweed is just very dark green or if it's black. It doesn't really matter. And in case for like an onigiri, did I pronounce that right? I don't know if I did. It's usually a pretty dark seaweed, so I don't know if that's supposed to be added to the spook factor or if that's just coincidence. But yeah, the grimace rice balls. Now I want to see like a run of like Breath of the Wild where the only healing item you can use is the grimace rice balls. All right. Meat. Seafood extract. Monster stew. Very similar in concept to monster soup, but okay. Meat and seafood simmered in monster extract. Savory dish despite its ingredients. Again, it's bubbling constantly like the legs in the cauldron, though. That's kind of cool. What is actually the difference? Oh, okay. Because the soup is kind of like basic ingredients, and the stew is just meat ingredients, which, like, I don't really associate wheat with soup, but I've never made a broth before, so I don't know. Or I've never, like, made a broth from scratch before, so maybe that is involved somewhere in the process. I don't know. I usually use pre-made broth. Monster cake we've already done. It's part of the quest line. Dubious food we've already done, which I guess we could do fast, but like, yeah, why should we bother? I've commented before that I love the fact that the dubious food is censored. This is one that I have done, but I'm going to do it again because I never really talked about it when we did it. Rock hard food, a dish gone awry after adding the wrong ingredient. Chewing your way through this won't be fun, but you will fill you up when you're between a rock and a hard place. I will say, this dish saved my fucking ass during the trial of the sword. I heard a lot of people mention in like their tips of like, oh, be sure whenever you get to the save rooms to just chop down all the trees and like cook each piece of wood individually. It won't heal much, but it will be something. And so I did, and like I swear, there's like 2 or 3 times where I like refilled like half of my like I was like on a half health, and I got back to full health just cooking and eating wood, which I love that that's a mechanic. That is hilarious. And you know what? I can't because I'm full on hearts. But if I wasn't full on hearts, I'd eat you. I'd eat your rock hard food. I appreciate you now. You helped me when times are tough. And also, I want to test something. While we're at it, this is not on the recipe list, but I just want to see what this does. I want to see what this does. Dubious food. It's too gross to even look at. A bizarre smell issues forth from this heap. Eating it won't hurt you, though. Probably. That is weird. That just salt makes dubious food. I don't understand why that would be a thing, because logically, it's just salt. It would either do nothing, or you'd get salty water. Depending on how you cooked it. How would this like become a full plate of shit? That's weird. That feels like it might be an oversight. And actually, you know, while we're at it, this is a similar concept. Yeah, again, dubious food. Just cooking a spice alone gets you dubious food, but when realistically, it should like give you nothing. Like nothing, or maybe like ash if you cook it for like really long. Okay. Just a pepper? Spicy sauteed peppers. Grants low-level resistance. The spiciness of these sauteed peppers has been broken by the heat for a sweeter taste. Because that was a whole plate of peppers. So can I use more than one? I can, okay. That makes more sense then. Just a plate full of peppers. I mean, it's food. We're going to skip one just for a second because this is kind of like a similar vein. Probably could use the acorns too. Sauteed nuts. These sauteed tree seeds are the perfect snack for the busy adventurer on the go. Yeah, basically they're a trail mix. Very cool. Thank you, Zelda. Very cool. Okay. Oh. Since resetting the save anyway, I do want to test this. Because there's a few different ways you can do this one. This is probably one of the most expensive, though. Fairy tonic. This powerful recoverable elixir harnesses the power of fairies. It has a sweet fragrance. I love the fairy wing on the back. That is a freaking adorable bottle. And it just look like it provides like a few more hearts than a fairy would if you died. And so I still appreciate the fairies for like the cushion of like saving you from death. I feel like this is a bit of a waste. of one, but hey, it's extra hearts. That's something. Simmered fruit, we've done a lot. Warm milk, I'm pretty sure we've done, but you know what? I'll just do it just in case. Oh, okay. I will load my save, and then we'll do it just in case. Fruit and mushroom mix we've done. All right, just the milk. Milk. This is warm milk here, but make this by eating up some milk. Drink it before bed to ensure a good night's sleep. It must be warm milk then. Because it goes from being lawn milk, right? Yeah, it goes from being fresh milk to just milk. But like the guide says that it should be called warm milk, which it's not. But okay, okay. Now salt and wheat. Bread made with wheat from the Tabantha region. The soft, springy bread smells just heavenly. It's got a size of butter on the side, despite you not using butter to cook it, and butter being an ingredient in this game. It's kind of a nice looking baguette. You know what? I'm gonna test if this does anything. If it has butter, wheat, and salt, will this make the same thing? Okay, fair enough. You got me, game. Sometimes those ingredients will mess things up, but sometimes they don't. How the healing effect? It's the same healing, though. It doesn't make any difference. Okay. Okay, this one says any fruit and any vegetable. So I'm just going to try apple and hardy radish. Hearty steamed fruit. A regional dish made by steaming near-ripened fruits and leaves of fragrant plants. It says you can also use flowers or herbs, given those steaming in plants. I think flower and herb would have made more sense for that one. Also, there's acorns there, which I think, those would be classified as a nut. I don't know if those would work or not. You know what? While we're testing things, I do want to test. Because we got the baked banana, we got like a baked apple, and so we have 3 baked nuts. So you know what? I'm going to do apple, banana, 1, 2, 3 acorns. Let's make this accurate to the image and see if it does the same thing. Because if it doesn't do the same thing, I call bullshit. It doesn't do the same thing. What the fuck? How's that work? Nintendo, this image is quite clearly an apple, banana, and 3 acorns. This recipe is an apple, banana, and 3 acorns. These should be the same thing. Why are these not the same thing? Okay. Okay, now, 4 different fruits. You could probably do 5 different fruits, but I'm not risking it. 4 different fruits. Oh, does that mean the pepper counts as a fruit for recipes like this? It must. It's in the fruit section. Maybe it doesn't. I don't know. Copious simmered fruit. The flavors of the various fruits in the simmered dish exist in perfect harmony. It's actually good thing we fucked this one up then, because we can kind of compare. Yeah, it's got an extra orange slice. It's got like 2 chunks of banana. It looks like berries are about the same. It might even be less. It's got another of each color of grape, and the bowl is like way deeper. Okay, cool. I wonder like how exactly you get the orange broth, though. I'm wondering where exactly that comes about in the process. I'm not doubting that would happen if you simmered fruit, but I've never seen it, so I don't know. Okay, honey and mushroom. Glazed mushrooms. The honey in this mushroom dish gives it a sweet, complex taste and a savory finish. Now, there's not even a variety of mushrooms in this one as some of the other mushroom dishes. Usually for each mushroom dish, it takes like every single fucking mushroom in the game and puts them on the plate at the same time. But no, this is just like hylian and truffle by the looks of things. Maybe it's an Endura or a Sunshroom, but I think it's hylian and hardy truffle is what that image was. Okay, so now any vegetable. We'll do you, because I'm pretty sure you count. Because again, like I classify a carrot and pumpkin as a vegetable, but they're like in between the herbs here, and like some recipes like call them out specifically, and so I don't know if those count. But I'm pretty sure the beet counts as a vegetable. And then add some honey. Glazed veggies. Don't like the taste of vegetables? Simply saute them in honey for a salty sweet flavor. Not sure what all vegetables those are supposed to be there. I'm not very good at identifying those, but okay. Looks like there might be like a leak or something on the side, but you can't get those in this game. Maybe it's a piece of the herb, but this recipe doesn't work with herbs. So, I don't know. Now we need to get any prime meat. The bird could work too. And any fish. No. I was worried that was going to happen. I'm surprised it took that long to happen. Maybe just throwing shit on the floor. Prime meat and seafood fry. This comfort dish is made with choice cuts of meat and seafood. There's a pretty big chunk of fish in the back, actually. That's a massive fucking fish. That's a whole bird's thigh. That's a good old hearty fish. Whole steak, whole bird thigh. Jesus. We can't make the gourmet one because we don't have the gourmet meat right now, though. Pepper, Hyrule bass, and raw meat. This is a very specific one. Most of them aren't this specific. Meat and seafood fry. Requires a level of cold resistance. A filling dish made by cooking fresh seafood and meat together. Pretty simple, you know. I kind of like the black that it's on, but you know, kind of your average for like the meat and seafood dishes. Not always seeing where the spiciness comes in because the peppers aren't actually on it, but okay. Salt grilled prime meat we've done before, and then salt grilled gourmet meat we can't do because we don't have any gourmet meat. Okay, so that is almost every recipe in Breath of the Wild cooked in our playthrough. I didn't cook every single one in this video, of course, because there's some we've already done. But I just wanted to see some of like the work in the tooltips. I'll have to look up the gourmet ones on my own at some point, going on a whole hunch for those, and then dragging out another stream just for recipes. But yeah, that was the reading some of the tooltips and looking at some of the art for the different recipes you can cook in Breath of the Wild. So thanks for tuning in. I'm going to call it there. Bye-bye.